Hey, so this is my first stream. I'm having a little bit of problems up front. Just trying to see if I can get going. So anyway, this is my short film, Europa. It's about a girl who gets chosen to go on a mission to one of Jupiter's moons and ends up perishing in an effort to save the mission. This is the shot I'm currently working on. Let me try looping it. Okay, I don't have the pro version, so I can't. So.
Winston, it's not good. I'm the only one left.
Play it one more time.
Winston, it's not good. I'm the only one left.
So one of the things was she feels a little bit floaty in this scene, and actually in an earlier version she was a lot floatier. And the reason I kept it that way is when she's in space on the moon, Europa actually has a gravity somewhat similar to our moon. So if you've seen footage of our astronauts or anything else, you've seen how that should happen. So here, let me show an earlier shot. This is how I'm actually going to composite the final. Let me see if 07 has it better. Yeah, this is how I'm going to composite the shot when it's done. I had to fix up the animation because I wasn't super happy about it the first time around.
Winston, it's not good. I'm the only one left.
So you see, one of the big things I changed was I gave her a bit more of a hop.
It's not good.
In the middle.
I'm the only one left.
Which I think looks a bit better. So anyway, this film that I'm making is actually being animated in Toon Boom Harmony. This is kind of how one of the shots is looking right now, how some of the cleanup is working. Over here is your exposure sheet. There's also another timeline down here that I can scrub. You can kind of see, let me go full frame, and we'll block it out. You can kind of see what I'm trying to go for. So what I'm trying to do right now is clean up the in-betweens. And if you can see, there's a bit of a ghosted image in here. The red area is the previous drawing, and the pencil line is what I'm currently focusing on, and then the green is the next drawing. So, yeah, so what I'll probably end up doing is, what I'm doing right now is I'm going through and cleaning up the marked frames. In Harmony, you can clean up, you can sort by keys and in-betweens. Keys and breakdowns, that's what the B stands for. I can see what has and hasn't been cleaned up, because I want to do those first, so that, see, there's one. So this is probably the first one I'm going to work on right now. So right now it's flipping between these. I want to be able to see the previous drawing. So but I want to see the two keys. So I'm going to switch to seeing the keys, which I can see right here. For this piece, I'm kind of working more in the camera view since it's a little easier. And I can make the onion skin a little darker so you can see what's going on. I guess the result's kind of the same in the drawing view. Drawing view is a little cleaner for me to look at. It doesn't have the background. But then again, I also don't have the character faded out, so I'm probably going to work in this view. Right. So I'm kind of compositing this in a way where I want to see some of the drawing lines come through. If you see here, I have some of her construction actually playing through on this. Here, let me zoom it back to the wide again. View. You can see that there's a bit of construction line here, which I kind of want to keep. I'm also being a little rough about my cleanup line as a result as well. So what I'm going to start doing is going in here and start cleaning her up. So usually I like starting with the head first. This is actually kind of a cathartic part of the process where you kind of get to relax and not worry so much about thinking about the animation. So it's a little bit, in some ways, fun. I like doing cleanup in this way and getting a chance to do other stuff. Usually while I'm working, I'm listening to music or, oops, made a mistake. Usually what's really nice about a lot of our programs is being able to rotate your canvas, because not every direction works the best for everyone's hand movement. Go around here. And I'm also checking against the previous drawing to make sure it lines up. Get her expression in. Nose. And so she has the neck there and there, so I think there was a bit of compression, which is why the neck is lower. So the reason why I'm focusing on the breakdowns right now is I don't want to get into the in-betweens just yet, because it can cause a lot of wiggly lines if you go forward and just start with the in-betweens. And also I kind of want these happy mistakes, double lines and other things. I don't really care so much about the line being absolutely perfect. It's supposed to feel a little rough and lively. So I'm actually keeping an eye on the other. It's a little late for me to be working. Typically I like starting a bit earlier. I've been wanting to do a live stream for a while. It's just been kind of tough to get my equipment ready and to get set up. Oops. So if you're wondering, because I think that the viewership is quite low right now, almost nil, I just talk about stuff. I'm working on a Wacom Cintiq. It's the Mobile Studio Pro. It's type of Cintiq, it's not the only one. And recording with my secondary computer. Alright. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea for me next week to post something and say, hey guys, Instagram, I'm doing a live stream at midnight on Thursday. Please come and see. But nope, didn't do that this time. First time jitters. So this is her armband, which I kind of see as like a navigation computer. It kind of tells her whether her oxygen is low, which is pretty critical to the whole story. I also like the idea of her actually looking at her screen from time to time. So this part gets a little tricky because I'm getting into her hand, so I have to keep an eye on what I'm doing with the hands. So this is this hand here. Pretty big move between it, so I'm probably just going to do it this way. once again, not trying to be perfect. The whole emphasis of this film is to feel a little bit on the indie side. My day job, as I've mentioned, is I work at Nick in a promo department, and everything is about super refinement, and I don't really want this to be as refined as... I still want it to look nice, and the color palettes look nice and everything else, but I want it to have a little bit more fun, a little bit more interest, than just being something absolutely clean and perfect. Let me get rid of the border here so I can overdraw. So one thing you always want to do in animation is overdraw a little bit. You never know if you're going to need more. Yeah, this like feels a little wonky. Okay. And while as I do this, I'm hoping that my son doesn't spontaneously wake up and come in. That would be funny. He does do that. At least when I'm playing video games, he does that. Alright, so got this part. So we did the other part of the leg. I wasn't super keen on the touch for the Wacom, but now that the rotation on it is kind of a little wonky, but I think it has to do with the onion skin. If I turn off onion skin, it ends up being a lot smoother. I like seeing the onion skin from time to time. Keeps me aligned with what I want to do. Okay, so getting down to the foot. Should be more of a toe than that. Okay. This piece here, I'm going to check it against onion skin. I'm not sure if I see another hand in here. So that's the shot. Foot feels a little weird. Yeah. I'm going to erase the tip and kind of chunk it up a little bit. There we go. I'm a little happier with that. That's why I'm wearing a glove on my hand. It's because sometimes if you do palm, this program doesn't reject palm at all. So you have to wear a glove. I have a special one that doesn't allow you to actually draw on the screen. Most palm gloves actually do. This weird glitch with this where I have to disable Dropbox so I don't accidentally cause a save issue. Now I'm going to go to another one. So I think that is all of the primary shots. I really don't work with the timeline out. I end up using more of the other tools to get around. So we just want to see the keys and the in-betweens. So you can kind of see what it looks like painted. Alright, so now we can maybe do in between. So I think most of this has been done. Compression. Oh, we could do this one. Terrific. Alright, so this is between a key and a breakdown. So if you see here, see I'm drawing on the screen when I try to navigate. If you see this frame here, if I show the key, if I just do keys, I'll only see the key frames. So it's showing the key back here and the key here. But if I click breakdown, it's showing just the key and the breakdown. So it's a little bit more precise. So she's further back, so line ends up being a little more chunky over here. Yeah, she's quite a bit smaller. So I kind of have her animating towards camera. So in the final composite, I'll put all this together. All right, now it's getting a little muddy in here. Let me turn all this off so I can see what I'm doing. I'm not sure if I gave her bottom lip in that other shot. What was that? No, I did. Yeah, but I'm still getting that dang pixel back there. Here we are. Zoom in again. Eyebrow. It's actually funny to do this, is I've never actually watched a live stream. Probably pretty bad to do a live stream, having never actually watched a live stream. But I've done a few YouTube videos. It's funny, I actually do a lot more YouTube videos for work, animated and not, than I've done for this. I've done for my own channel. Yeah, her eyes looking a little off there. We'll move that up a little bit. So, alright, you might be like, wow, this is not super clean, but her head's pretty tiny here, so I'm not super worried. Alright, this is her chest plate for her soft suit. Actually gone through a lot of iterations in the design of this. I've been working on this film for 8 years. Way too long. It was actually written by my sister. I wrote a prose piece about this on an airplane flight, and I read it to my wife, and she thought it was interesting, and then I decided to make this my second film out of school. I've been out of school for 15 years, so I don't make many films. But my last film did pretty well, called The Lift. Didn't do super well online. Did better than a lot of stuff that I've had, but it's good. I'm proud of it. It's just not very consistent with my current work. And I feel like the storytelling in it's kind of weak. So that's why I'm trying to make something new. So I have something that's more representative of my newer styles. Though this is actually a more dated style. Whereas newer stuff I'm doing, oops, it doesn't look so good. It looks very different. Alright, so we bring back the in between so I can double check. Give us a handle a little more work. Maybe better do her leg, at least the top of her leg, so I know where I'm drawing to. Kind of a derpy looking hand, but at this point it's kind of okay. Clean up this edge a little bit, just so it's not as wide as it was. It's funny when you do this stuff, you kind of, I don't know, I kind of always feel like I'm cutting corners, but I also want to get it done. It's been years, and at a certain point you have to decide, alright, am I going with speed or am I going with being precise? My last film was a little bit more precise, so the anatomy wasn't precise. And this one, neither's precise. but it's okay. It's been a fun adventure. Definitely don't go into this for the money, for the lulz. It's very much just getting it done. So, trying to find the middle line between the in-between and my redraw line. Kind of clean it up a little bit, but not too much. At some point I'll come in here and do rough color work too. It's near done. Alright, so it's one more frame done. So I think I'll try to do one more tonight for this stream. And we'll call it a bust. Call it a night, a bust. Alright. Trying to keep this in a way so the stream can see it. Alright. So I haven't worked on this in a few weeks. I'm working on iPad animations, and those have a slightly different feel to them. At one point I even considered doing a puppet of Savannah. That's the name of the main character. And it came out nice. It looked super clean. It was really boring to work on. So I ended up simplifying the drawing of the character a little bit and starting over. Trying not to get a hairy line, trying to remember to keep long and broad strokes. Alright, she's not happy right now. She's realized she's likely going to die, so she should be a little bit on this unhappy side. Maybe one time I'll do my iPad stuff on stream. I think that might look cool. One of the things I am doing with this film is I'm not actually animating all the shots. I actually animated this shot, but a lot of the shots I have some wonderful folks helping me out, and at some point I'll be working on their shots, so I'm not going to clean up everything because it's way too much. It's a 5-minute film. It'd take me probably 2 years if I did that. So it's a definite nope. So I want to get the hand to something like this pose, which is the frame right after. So I'm going to try to get there a little bit better than what I had in my sketch. That's a bit better. Once again, not worrying about being perfect, just feeling right is good enough. To turn this off again so I can see again another one of these little dots. One of the things I don't like about this program that they haven't realized all they need to do is just disable touch with a pen and nothing else. Allow the other tools to work. Like the drag and the move is all super great. But why can't they just disable touch? That's what Procreate does, the iPad, as well as some other apps like Clip Studio Paint does that. You just disable touch for everything but I don't know why they can't do it with this program. Maybe they're related in some way. meaning the tools are related, so therefore they can't disable one without disabling the other. I don't know. Oh, the stream's actually going through, because when I started it said that it wasn't working, that the bandwidth was too high. I was only saying at 5 megs per second. I don't know why the bandwidth would be too high for that. Seems kind of weird to me. But it's my first time doing it, so this might just only exist as a video that gets viewed after the fact. So I'm going to try to finish this arm. And call it quits just for this session. And I got the other part of the band, her shoulder over there. And that is that. So I can scrub through. This is the part I worked on tonight. See, I mean, this is what I mean. It kind of feels good, and I think that's the main thing that I'm looking for. That's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was somewhat informative. I'm going to try to do it again soon. Good night.